What is up, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Now, the movie hangout show from Apocaflix Movies. I am your host, Jacob Hartley, and we are joined, of course, missing Keith Barnes.
My bad.
He didn't even... Was I muted the whole time?
My fault. I clicked the wrong person.
Halfway through.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, we are here, super organized, super on point. Late because of me. I apologize. But nevertheless, we are ready to go. And let me just introduce the crew real quick. If you aren't familiar with us, of course, we have Gio Ramos in the house wearing that DC Phantom United shirt. What's going on, man?
Hey, you know what? I just realized I got to do a plug later. And the fact that I'm wearing this shirt, it's like, I don't know if this was a setup, but I'm doing great, guys. A big weekend for DC right here. And excited to talk about today's news. It won't be controversial at all, I promise.
No, none of it.
We will see. I need to get one of those DC Fandom United shirts, definitely. And I also need to get one of those sweaters that Jake's wearing. How's it going, Jake Berlin?
It's good. Fun fact, that shirt is no longer available on TeePublic, guys.
No way.
DC flagged it like they do our YouTube videos.
No.
What?
Damn, I should have got one.
Same with my there's been about five times now. My Whiskey Jedi shirt's been taken down by Lucasfilm too.
You keep putting it back up, or do you modify it?
I keep putting it back up.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so you won't find. So if you guys want DC United or Phantom United, excuse me, which I'm more than happy to put it back up, but more than likely it'll go away very quickly. So you're gonna have to jump on it. The good thing about jumping on it quick is the first 12 hours or something, it goes on sale for 35%. So maybe we'll do a thing every month, once a month, this is your only chance to get this t-shirt and see what
happens. It happened with the Obi-Wan smashing t-shirt too.
That got taken down as well.
I think I'm the only one who has one, but that does suck.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Who knows?
I think if we alter the logo on the DC part, maybe get away
with it. If we take away DC, everything will be fine. So the fact that it has the DC logo on it is what takes it down.
Well, and it's
which is weird because mine doesn't have the Star Wars logo. It's just me as a Jedi, which is strange.
Yeah, why would they take the Whiskey Jedi
because
down?
Jedi is probably trademarked.
So stupid.
What if we just put
whiskey? Jedi don't drink whiskey.
It's the word.
Would it be flagged if we put a headshot of Zack Snyder on there?
I'm never making a logo.
That's a good point, Brian, because they don't take the Mandalorian shirts down. And they have images. But anyways, not to give them any more ideas. How's it going, Brian?
Good. I'm debating if the flashing light in the background of my thing is too distracting.
I don't notice anything.
I think this is the first time we're all wearing some kind of merch.
Well, Brian, now I didn't even notice the flashing thing until you said something.
Yeah, it might. I think it might be. It's kind of distracting me, so I'm thinking it's too distracting.
It's Gio, too fast. I'm sure you ordered multiple of those shirts. You could just hand one over here, man, and I'll wear it.
Dude, I'm spending so much money on Snyder Cut merchandise. It's not even funny. Okay,
Jesus Christ.
I just bought
a Thrawn shirt. So,
well, that's the last time we'll be mentioning DC or Snyder on this show today. Hopefully,
yeah.
No, just kidding.
Always poking before you start the damn show.
Hey, man, you open the door for it, all right? I don't just randomly start doing it. All righty, so we are going to jump into the movie watching challenge here. Brian watched Lethal Weapon, which we figured out was Keith's movie, and Keith is not here at the moment to talk about it. So Brian's just going to talk about Lethal Weapon, and we'll kind of discuss it with him here. But Brian, what are your thoughts on Lethal Weapon, man?
Yeah, it's a movie. It's okay.
Wow.
Wow. I was talking to someone else about it. The first 3 scenes of the movie are all the main characters naked. Literally, the first 3 scenes of the movie. It starts out with the chick that kills herself, then Danny Glover in a bathtub, butt naked, getting a birthday cake from his family, and then Mel Gibson walking around in his trailer butt ass naked.
Hey,
I
that's
was very
great analogy.
confused. I was very confused when I first started the movie. Yeah, it's very 80s, that's for sure. Yeah.
Hey, that is a super Brian review right there.
I really tried, but it just kind of felt all over the place. Like, what to me, like it. I don't. I mean, I get it. They're trying to figure out like the who killed, not literally who killed, but who was responsible for the death of the woman in the beginning of the movie. But like, it just kind of goes all over the place for me, and it kind of just I was like, I don't know. I just wasn't. It was good, but it wasn't like
Didn't blow you away.
No,
Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, go for it.
How'd you feel about the on-screen chemistry of Mel Gibson and Danny Glover and their back and forth?
I didn't think they had that good of chemistry personally.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, okay, here's what I'm the one thing that I kept thinking of, and I'm wondering if this might have hindered my liking of it, was the fact that like I grew up loving and watching Rush Hour very like a lot. I've seen those movies a lot. So I wonder if I was kind of like comparing it the whole entire time. So, which, I mean, obviously that one came first, but the whole buddy cop type situation, I don't know. It just didn't get me like I thought it would. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I really thought I was gonna like it going into it, and I was just like, okay. Jake, are you that disappointed?
I'm so frustrated right now.
Either something else happened or Jake is heartbroken.
You know what? Just for this, I'm gonna my next couple times I get to nominate you. I think you'll like Lethal Weapon 4 more.
Jesus Christ! I have to get through 2 more of them.
No, we're gonna skip that. We're gonna go straight to 4. I think you'll like that one a lot more.
We're not skipping any. We're not even gonna give him any more to watch because he's just disrespecting what is Lethal Weapon right now.
Wow. Okay. So
I'm shell shocked.
Wow, Brian, I respect you for being honest.
No,
I
did it without knowing. Okay. It's look. Everyone has like opinions on movies, but Brian's just wrong.
And
just look, wrong.
I watched these later on, like when I was like 15 or 16, and I really enjoyed them. And my favorite part was just the camaraderie between the two actors. So, but I mean, I do understand a little bit of maybe to Brian, they're dated, possibly.
It felt very dated to me.
So, and I get that, but hey, we can't win them all. That might have been Brian's most, I don't know, disappointing review, I guess, because he straight up said movies are trash in his reviews, but very honest. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It didn't do very much for me. I a couple times was just like, okay, how much longer is this one? So
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, now I say we just pick Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Lethal Weapon 4 as his next 3 watch.
We have there's.
Aren't they making another one too?
3 of us? No, they made a TV show out of it.
I thought they just announced that
they might make another one, but
I was gonna say that each of us can pick one of them for a watch along, and see what happens with people voting. But
that's true.
I doubt
that.
I'll be sick that day.
It'll be all 3 of those on there.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny. Well, yeah. Any last questions for Brian?
So I was going to
Brand
ask, where does it rank among the buddy cop films? And I think we have the answer.
trying to think.
Gio, he doesn't even deserve to answer that.
Like he's ride-alongs up there for Brian. You know.
Yeah,
I
you got
don't
Ride
I don't think
Along.
I've seen Ride Along, honestly.
You got the Jump Street
I
movies.
swear to God, if he likes Ride Along more than Lethal Weapon,
I've never even seen
this
Ride
channel
Along.
will blow up. I will
Utopia?
destroy this channel.
I've never
Buddy
seen
cop
Ride Along,
film?
so it's not on the list.
Well,
I mean, I would put all Rush Hours before it.
interesting. Hey, look, we can't all agree. It would be boring if we all agreed on everything, right? So it's
Do you
good to have.
remember that one time, like the very last time that we were all in person shooting, when Jacob said the blasphemy statement of Sicario is an average film, and I about lost my crap. This is almost worse than that situation.
How? You
That
have
was
never
crazy.
in our 4 years of friendship ever even brought up Lethal Weapon. How is it that?
Oh, he's brought it up,
Not that I've been around.
I don't
Maybe-
bring it up to you because you haven't seen it.
but
And
so
I'll be honest,
you've
there's other
talked
movies-
about them a lot.
In the 4 years, there's other movies that I've wanted you to watch more, of course, like there is. But Lethal Weapon is easily one of the greatest buddy cop / action hardcore cop stuff that has ever existed. Ever.
Well, what is your guys, Gio and Jake? You guys are well versed in these films. What is your favorite one? And then we'll move on.
Okay, so
Oh, yours is the one that Jet with Jet
Damn.
Li, right?
Mine
Damn.
changes on a probably when I haven't seen them in a while. I would probably go with the original.
I'm gonna go.
Lethal Weapon 4 is awesome. Like
Hey.
Lethal Weapon 4 is awesome.
Hey Jake, I'm going 1, 4, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I would probably go 1, 2, 4, 3 right now, but if I watched them, it might change.
Dude, Jet Li is so good in 4. He's so good.
don't know.
And real quick, if I just want to say something, Brian. Like,
That
there's
guy
so
loves-
much
He hates me
content
right
out
now.
there in the world that we're all gonna have different tastes in movies. So I don't think anybody should be being critical of how he feels about Lethal Weapon, even though most of us
Yeah,
think
Jake.
it's a classic. There's so much content, and what you're into is what you're into. So-
Gio,
Jake.
we're talking about DC a little bit later on. You could save it for then, okay?
Oh, I got something else for them. Yeah. So
I will say
Right.
I watched Jaws afterwards for the first time, and that was really good.
Oh, wow.
there you go.
Huh. Interesting.
So yeah.
So you never know with Brian. You never know. Before we get to the second part of the movie watching challenge, Jake, we do have a Streamlab, correct?
Yeah, it's actually a quick one. This came in after our show from last week, so it's kind of been sitting there. And I just noticed it. It's from someone named Park Fails. And they simply say, "Love your channel, keep going." So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, if anybody who has a question or a comment that they want to involve themselves in the conversation, the Streamlabs link is right above Jacob. The link is also in the description. I'm sure Rachel will post it in the chat here very soon. And yes, Brian, I know Brian Nussbaum just put it in the chat. We will be covering that on Thursday. Mortal Kombat is officially on Thursday, as well as the Cruella trailer, which is tomorrow.
Oh, really?
The Cruella trailer with Emma Stone for Disney Plus.
Why do you call it like that? Say it one more time.
Cruella?
Cruella.
Yeah, Cruella. I don't say the
Cruella.
you like you. It's Cruella. Cruella. And so we'll be covering both those trailers. And so look out tomorrow for a reaction for Cruella, and then Mortal Kombat definitely on Thursday. And I 100% went on that.
Who's okay? Who is going to be on Mortal Kombat?
Well, I don't know. You mean the trailer reaction?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm down to get on.
Brian doesn't know anything about it, which is why he's probably saying this.
No, I mean, I'm arguably. I mean, Gio and I are the most excited about it.
If it's during the day, more than likely the two of you will probably have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what I'm
I'll be
doing.
working.
I will run
I'll be
home to watch it. So, do we know what time it's coming out? I'll be here
I don't know, but they dropped the posters for it.
because I'm not gonna wait be able to wait long, so I might as well just do the trailer reaction.
Yeah, so that'll come out on Thursday, but those will be live reactions. So just follow us on Twitter, and obviously subscribe here on the channel, and you'll get notified as to when we're gonna go live. But they will be live reactions for both of them. We've been doing these live reactions lately. They've been working out well, and they just go straight to the channel. It works out well on our end. So just stay tuned for those over the next couple of days.
Awesome.
Samir, yes, I did like Jaws. It was good.
Awesome. Well, the other half of the movie watching challenge, someone new gets challenged each week, and I was chosen this time. I was the chosen one. As
I know
Brian.
you complained about it, and you haven't even been challenged in a while.
Oh, well, I was trying to find a cool gift to send back. And that one just I was trying to find one during that same scene that made sense, but it didn't. So just a little fun. Not again. When Anakin lightsaber breaks. Not again. But yes, so I have been challenged, and I'm going to let the viewers choose my fate yet again. Has been about a month for me, and I just think that's fun. So yeah, I will let the viewers choose. So I'm guessing a poll will go up shortly after this episode.
Tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So
Jake, do we only have 3 movie choices?
There's only 3, and they're right behind the Lethal Weapon poster.
That's what I figured. Just making sure. Okay.
all right.
Are we
So
ready?
what are the choices?
Your choices. Well, you're not choosing. The choices for people are Public Enemies,
Okay.
Pleasantville,
Wow.
and District 9.
I knew this one would be coming sooner or later.
So you've got Mob, Aliens, and
A nice, hearty, good time.
Okay, yeah, then we'll go with that.
Am I the only one that's seen Pleasantville here?
I've seen it's one of those movies that I've seen on TV, like bits and pieces. So I'll say no.
Okay.
But I've seen a good chunk of it though.
So Jacob, what do you any anticipation on these movies?
Yes. Obviously District 9 has been on my list for a while. Best Picture nominated. I mean, I guess Neil Blomkamp's only universally loved film so far, but I had that on my list for a while. Pleasantville, I know about it. I don't have anything spoiled for me, but I do know I've read the synopsis and it sounds right up my alley. And Public Enemies has great actors in it, so I am looking forward to that as well. So I'm down for any 3 of these, and there's only 3 this time.
Yeah, someone didn't put a movie in because he was busy today. So Keith was super busy today, and he wasn't able to get back in time. But
that throws off my
sometimes.
guesses because I thought Keith chose Public Enemies, so now I have no idea who chose what. So there we go. But yes,
which one do you think I chose?
Oh, damn it! I don't know. Oh, District 9 probably. But yes, so the poll will be up tomorrow. You guys get to decide what I'm going to be watching this weekend. You get to dictate 2 hours of my weekend. So have fun with that. But either way, I'm excited. It forces me to sit down and watch movies that I've been wanting to watch anyway.
Damn right, Rachel. Damn right.
I mean, the timing's not bad.
Yes. So really quick, our next watch along is going to be happening during our next episode of Now on the 23rd, and we'll be reviewing our picks here shortly, which the viewers will also be voting on like we do every month. And then until we get to that, Jake's going to go ahead and read off some news for us.
Yeah, so we've kind of been on this train lately as far as like once a month we get this really cool week of movie news. And there's been a lot of news. One of them, actually, 2 of them are technically TV related, but they're like cinematic level TV. If in the thumbnail you saw, so we're going to be talking about the Gina Carano stuff quickly here, and some kind of not so much just what happened, but kind of what we think we want to happen, what could happen, etc. And then we'll be getting into the Snyder Cut trailer, obviously. Even though we've done extensive coverage on it recently, we will definitely be doing that. Not enough for Gio, of course. I see you shaking your head while I'm not looking. And then we'll be finishing up by talking The Last of Us and the casting that happened, which is pretty massive and could have effects on other stuff in the same medium. So we're going to start with the biggest stuff that happened recently, and that is the Gina Carano firing. She is officially out at Lucasfilm. She is no longer employed by Disney. She will no longer be on The Mandalorian and any other shows that are included in it. This happened very, very sudden, middle of last week. Obviously, she has been making some pretty strong tweets on social media over the last number of months, and something happened last week that pretty much pushed them over the edge. And there's been a lot of hearsay about their plan and what they were waiting for and who dealt with it and stuff. We're not going to talk about that specifically, but we're going to talk more so about what happens next and what do we want specifically to happen next, our personal opinions. If we want someone to be recast, who do we see in the role, stuff like that. And so, and of course, if anybody has opinions on the actual situation itself, they can obviously say that as well. But I definitely want to put the focus more so on, Cara Dune is a big character in the series so far. She was supposedly going to lead a show called Rangers of the New Republic. And so if that is still happening, what happens now? So let's kind of break it down a little bit, have a good conversation about it, because I know I've talked about it a little bit on camera. I don't know if you two have yet. And so this might be a good point to kind of get your opinion out there on maybe someone who can replace her or what they do with the character. Jacob, why don't you start us off, man?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to like the actual tweets that she's been making throughout the past year or so. But I did, after I heard about this, I did some research and looked into it. And I was surprised to see that this was made when I first heard it. But then I followed the whole entire story, and I understand why it's happening. And I just hope people understand, like, it wasn't just one thing. Oh, she's gone. It was a series of things that happened. But it's unfortunate because, she wasn't just a side character on that show. She was going to be a building block for this entire like streaming Star Wars world going forward. We assumed she was going to be on Rangers of the New Republic, and they gave her the badge. They were setting her up, and it doesn't mean that the character's out, but it's going to be different. I don't know. Like I think they can move on in this show without her, because they could easily just say Cara Dune's on her planet where she was, and she's just doing her thing. And for most of season 2, that's what she was doing. So I mean, I like the character, but I'm not, I don't think it's going to make or break the show. But obviously there's deeper conversation behind this, but I don't know if we need to get into all that.
So I do want to say before we move on, there were conflicting reports today, actually, just about 2 hours ago, that had said, oh, Disney is moving forward with recasting. And then something else came out afterwards saying, no, they're not going to be recast her. So nothing is official as far as what's happening, but it's obviously a big topic on what's going to happen, because we don't know what the plan was for the character of Cara Dune, but it is interesting. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to hear everybody's thoughts on this, because
I think they just, unless she was a crucial part, like you cannot do Rangers of the New Republic without the character. I think they should just leave the character alone for now.
I like the character of Cara Dune. Gina Carano's a trash bag. Sorry, I'm gonna go out and say it. What she said is not okay. The multiple times. If you didn't think she had it coming, then sorry. I don't know how you missed it. I'm curious what they do. If they recast her, great. I mean, she's not. Yeah. If they recast
I'm
her,
okay
cool.
Either way, to be honest.
The character is not. It's not Luke Skywalker. It's not like it's gonna break the whole entire Star Wars world. They don't recast her. It sucks we lost out on that character, but It's not going to dictate whether I like the show or not. I think for me, I mean, it would be cool to have them replace her so we can keep that character. But I mean, what? I mean, I'm sure there are, but what actress wants to be the name after this chick kind of sullied that character?
Yeah, it's so hard. And the first thing comes to mind is like, damn it, why couldn't this happen before Sasha Banks was already involved in the show? She would have been a perfect recast for Gina. Obviously, like the rest of the background, like it would have fit perfectly. I am in both minds where they can either write out the character and, like Jacob said, leave her on Navarro, take the show off Navarro, and never go back. Like that's an easy, simple explanation as to why you never see Cara Dune again.
Yeah, she's literally a ranger on Navarro, and she doesn't leave anymore. Exactly,
like that's her job, and that's what she does, and they just move on. And obviously Mando's involved with the Mandalorians now. That's a bigger thing than staying on Navarro. But if they were to recast, because maybe they did have plans for her character, I definitely have names in mind that would absolutely murder the role. I do think that there are a few, and a lot of people have pretty much been championing a few online with like petitions and like that type of stuff. I don't know if that'll actually happen because you have to think of the size of the role. If the role is going to stay how it is in Mandalorian, they're not going to get a big name actress. If it's something where it transforms into an actual lead character, then possibly. It just all depends. But if she was in fact supposed to be one of the leads in the the Rangers of the New Republic, they will without a doubt recast her. Because I would feel, even though the show hasn't shot yet, it would be hard to turn back now when you can simply just recast the character. Like, it's an easy fix, and we've seen recasting in the past. Like the easiest one that we can think of that is tied to this franchise is what Kevin Feige did with Rhodey in Iron Man 1 and 2. Right?
Oh, I was going to say Hulk.
Well, okay, Hulk's a little different because it was a different company, but I'm literally saying inside the universe, Marvel went from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle within a movie because of certain other situations. But it can be an easy switch like that where you just put another actor in the role and you just move on.
To what Brian said with that actress, have you seen who? Do you know?
I've seen her name, but I haven't seen her face.
She's almost like a clone of Cara Dune.
I've seen a lot of people talking about this girl from The Expanse that I keep hearing about too.
I don't know about The Expanse. I know who this actress is because she was the evil queen on Once Upon a Time.
Isn't there an actress that people are pushing for hard right now?
Lucy Lawless.
Is that who it is?
She played Xena the Warrior.
Okay.
In the TV show a number of years ago. She was also in the show Spartacus. And a lot of people have been championing her online because it's a very similar role.
John's comment is pretty good.
Yeah. I have two names, and I had mentioned one of the, so I covered this on Jedi last week. My number one choice is Michelle Rodriguez. I think that Michelle Rodriguez would absolutely murder this role because she's not a superstar, but she's a name that people recognize. And if she's a name that could easily lead a show, and she fits the build of a Cara Dune character. The other one, who is a character or an actress who I don't think is enough credit, and I just thought of it since I did that show, is Jamie Alexander, who plays Lady Sif in the Thor movies.
She's going to be busy.
Yeah.
I think that she would be a great addition to the Star Wars.
That's a good idea.
I know that she's going to be in Thor 4, but Mando season 3 isn't going to shoot for a while. Thor 4 is currently shooting.
Yeah, and she's going to have a small role in Thor 4.
I don't know how small it'll be, but
yeah, I don't know about that either.
She could easily tackle this role, and she would be an amazing replacement, a far better one, because she's an actual actress who literally kicks the same amount of ass that Gina Carano does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, either of those choices. I like the Michelle Rodriguez choice, to be honest. Like, she would fit great into that role. Like, she, she's kind of like a side character in Fast and Furious, but like, and she doesn't have a ton of dialogue. It's kind of like this character in the show already. But I mean, she's been acting a lot longer than Gina Carano, so she.
And this is a really good point
get
too.
in and do better.
Very similar role in Avatar. A lot of people forgot she was an Avatar.
Oh yeah,
she was a pilot. She wielded a gun. She was also in. The Resident Evil movies. She was in 2 of them.
This is her style of role. Like, she's kind of been typecast as the tough, female lead, and
perfect choice.
It fits perfect for her.
She needs to get out of that Fast and Furious role. I mean, I'm so over her yelling "Dom" every goddamn trailer. Like,
Gio's talking negative about Fast.
I know. I was kind of shocked at a second.
I'm a little bit. I don't know how I feel about Fast 9, but that's beside the point. I make sure to be very careful about. You know what? I got no comment on.
No, come on.
I already called her a trash bag. So.
Yeah, you don't. You know how to handle your words. You're fine.
All right. So, Jacob, Jake, Brian, you guys know me. Okay, you've known me for years. Back when we had WordPress and we were doing the articles, I would write these editorials that I felt so strongly about and believed in. One of them was Lucasfilm creating more opportunities for not just female actresses, but like female directors, writers, and putting Kathleen Kennedy at the head of Lucasfilm. I've written about Oscars So White, if you guys remember that from a couple years ago with the Oscars controversy. I have mixed feelings about this. And we're talking about like somebody's career who's basically over in Hollywood. And that might be a little extreme, if I'm being honest. I'm not in any way saying that her latest Instagram, I think it was on Instagram, that was a terrible, terrible example. You should not have done that. But I don't see her getting another job in Hollywood at all. And I don't know we've seen people in Hollywood do much worse things and still be able to get work. We were just talking about Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson is a star of Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson just recently was starring in a movie with Vince Vaughn. I don't know. Like, I don't know. If it's a timeout, okay. I don't expect her to work at Disney anymore. And if you're not working for Disney, who else is going to hire you? Is Gina Carano a bad person? I don't know her. Very few people really know who she is. And it kind of puts a dent in my anticipation for Rangers of the New Republic, because I thought, wow, that would be awesome, and I was kind of a fan of Gina Carano as the character of Cara Dune. Is she the most talented? No. Is she replaceable? Yes. But she brought something to that role. There's a reason why Favreau and Filoni chose her. Obviously, there are more qualified actresses, but I don't know. It's just we're talking about a career that's over in my mind, and that's tough considering who is still employed in Hollywood, who is still employed at DC. So I don't know. I just I got mixed feelings about it. I want to make sure I'm being very respectful.
Hey,
but I also want to be honest. So
you're good. It's all good, dude.
Yeah, Gio, I'm glad you mentioned that because like you said, we've seen people do much worse, and I don't think she deserves to never work in Hollywood again. That's extreme, but Disney had to do what they had to do.
Oh, sure.
Right. Yeah. They can't worry. Ooh, if we fire her, is that going to send a wrong message to everybody else saying she should never work again? They shouldn't have to worry about that. They had to make the best move for them. And that's what they did. So, and I don't blame them for it.
Well,
and
I
think she'll be back in something eventually.
Here's the thing. I think about an actress like Megan Fox, who was labeled by Michael Bay and I think Steven Spielberg as being extremely difficult, like very. And I'm into this kind of shit where there's like behind the scenes what really happened. And I've read some stuff that made me look at it from a different point of view. Like, okay, we know Michael Bay as a filmmaker, and we know those Transformers movies. Okay, you want to talk about what's the word I'm looking for? Like sexualizing, the females he puts in the movie. Like you look at Transformers 2 and like some of the stuff that Megan Fox was doing in there, and I'm just like, how comfortable was she in that role? And I'm getting way off point. But it's just there's a lot more troubling things going on in Hollywood, a lot more sketchy stuff, and I'm just like, why? Where's the effort on those ends? And I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you guys this though. Knowing how many times she's popped off at the mouth saying stupid stuff, would you want her representing your company?
Well, see, I understand why they did it. I'm not arguing with that at all, but these celebrities, I feel like a lot of them, they are so afraid to say how they really feel because they know they'll get destroyed on social media. And you know what?
Well, yes, they're going to say stuff like this.
You are representing an IP like Star Wars, something that reaches out to younger children. But I don't think those younger children have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter
these days, probably.
And maybe they do. That's another issue. Parenting.
That's a massive issue.
But Brian, to answer your question, like I understand why they did. I understand, but I'm simply saying, like, does it warrant the end of a career for a person like her? I don't know.
So to Brian, to answer your question, no. But I do think that what Gio was saying, to kind of build off of it, is that I think her career is ending for now. I do think at some point she'll come back and make some video on demand or backwater television.
She's already doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Like
she was hired the next day by some.
It's going to be some
news.
And some ridiculous.
Her agency dropped her too, right?
Yeah, it's going to be some ridiculous thing that she's just going to do to make some money, like the worst CGI film you'll ever see, or the worst CGI film you'll never see.
Well, look, Brian, that's what I'm saying. Like Disney, look, Hollywood. Traditionally, a lot of Hollywood is very liberal, right? So that's a lot of that she stands for is not in agreement with that, but there are some other things that are more, you
can say what you want without demeaning a whole entire.
I don't like to get into public political discussions, but I'm just saying, like, there are other companies, like television companies, production companies that don't swing that way, so they might not have a problem hiring her. But I think, look, she's not going to get any primetime, any big things for a while, and Gio and I were saying is like people have done a lot worse and then they were gone for years. And then they make a point to like, they earn their way back. Maybe she can do it. Maybe she can't. But I completely agree with Disney.
Maybe like everyone has like that moment in life, like that kind of like tipping point, right? Where something goes terrible. Oh, not everybody, but some people have that point where their like life changes, right? Some of it can be alcohol related. Some of it can be bad words like this. Some of it could be something they did physically or mentally. Maybe this changes her for the better. I don't know, but it had to happen. Like it just had to happen. Who knows? We never know what's going to happen years down the road, but for right now, it's the right move. She needed to be gone, not just for her to teach her a lesson, but she plain and simply just needed to, she needed not to be involved in something like this. And it's for the better that it happened. I know a lot of people are like, well, why did it happen now? There's a lot of reasons why it happened now. It wasn't just because of what happened recently, but you also have to get away from what Lucasfilm was doing or Disney. They're like, we can't fire her in the middle of our season debuting. Like, we just can't do it. We had to wait and kind of get some time away from that. Then they had the Disney thing that happened, announcing all this stuff, and they had to pump the brakes a little bit and be like, okay, when's the right time? They were probably going to do it anyway. And then this happened. They're like, okay, well, she gone.
And look, we weren't over the moon for her in that role anyway. So
I'm going to say this too. I think if they don't recast her, this is an incredible opportunity to fill her space with someone like Bo-Katan or Casca Reeves. An incredible opportunity to give them more screen time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Any last thoughts, guys, before we move on?
Yay! Mando season 3. Yay!
It's okay. Book of Boba comes first.
Jake, what do we have for those watch along choices, man?
Yeah, so let's get to the reveal. Let's talk about our next watch along pick. So everybody get off the brand page of StreamYard because I'm going to upload these images. I kept them off site, so nobody saw.
Not on there.
All right, let me go ahead and upload these real quick. Brian, you're not on brand, are you? Sometimes you'd like to look, so I just want to make sure. All right, so
hey, look, it's because you make me.
Well, I mean, you do the watch along stuff, so I guess that's fair. All right, let's see. Where's the other one? Let's see. There it is. So Mr. Keith Barnes is not here, so I'm going to go ahead and do his first. So he was given Disney Plus. Excuse me. He was not given Disney Plus. He was given Prime Video. Jacob was given Disney.
I was going to say that we messed up here.
Yeah. So Keith was given Prime Video. Oh goodness, my face again. Keith was given Prime Video, and the movie he picked is very relevant to what's happening today. And it's actually almost perfect timing for something that's happening next month. And he picked Coming to America.
Oh, wow.
Coming to America is his choice for Prime Video. Obviously, Coming to America is happening next month. We are returning with Eddie Murphy and company. And getting back into that world. And it might be a perfect time to watch said movie, Coming to America, which is available on Prime Video. And it became available to the public this month, actually, which is good timing. And that Coming to America, the sequel, will be released on Prime Video next month. So if you're interested in watching that with us, you can obviously vote on that. But you'll have to wait to see what the other 4 choices are. I will go ahead and go to Mr. Bartley next. So make sure you reveal what you got and what movie you are picking.
So I was given Disney Plus. We have a lot to choose from in that area. And I almost went an MCU film, very tempting. Almost went a Pixar film, very close to choosing a Pixar film. But I decided to choose Aladdin 2019 simply because this is a movie that all of us at the channel love. And I know we would have such a good time watching that movie together. Either way, we have to have Keith here for this watch along, or at least jump in once he gets home from work. I just think it would be a good time. It's not super long. So, I think watching Aladdin 2019 would be super fun.
That's a good one. I thoroughly enjoy that movie, and that is the best Disney adaptation so far. All right, Mr. Avellino, you're next because I'm going alphabetical, and it lands in your spot. So why don't you what do you got? What service and what movie?
So I got the Joyous Hulu.
Hulu has good choices.
It has decent choices.
It has a lot of good choices.
Yeah, I mean, who's the greatest spy of all time? It's clearly Austin Powers, the international man of business.
Nice. Yes.
So
wow.
Yeah, that is what my choice was.
And what's her name? What's her name?
Elizabeth Hurley.
Elizabeth Hurley, yeah. Elizabeth Hurley.
Yes.
Cool.
Did you watched Bedazzled, right, Jake?
I did. I was challenged to Bedazzled.
Yes.
All right. So actually, it's quite funny how this worked out. Alphabetically, it goes to Geo next. So we're just going down the pipeline here. Geo, you're given the glorious station of HBO Max.
I thought we agreed never to give him HBO Max.
You know what?
Again.
It would have landed in his lap in March, and I decided to go the month before. So we'll see what happens on this.
That's okay.
So, Gio, what glorious DC movie did you pick this time?
Oh boy, this is well. As you guys know, next month is Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there are still people out there saying it's pretty much the same movie. Well, let's put that to the test. And this month, our watch along is going to be Justice League.
Wow.
At least my pick, the 2017 theatrical version. Look, I won't be upset if this loses, okay? At all.
Gio, you had so many opportunities, and one specifically to pick a movie called Mad Max Fury Road, and you failed me.
I know, but here's the thing. If this movie doesn't get picked, I'm never going to watch it again. So this is like
Gio, I'm just letting you know that if this wins the poll, none of us are going to show up to this watch along.
Yeah, it's going to be just Gio.
I won't even show up. We'll just
Keith will hop on the last 30
minutes. Put a camera
minutes.
on a couch for 3 hours and see what happens.
Give me Birds of Prey. I love that movie.
Oh my god! Hey,
look, it's gonna win like just to punish us.
No, here's the thing. I mean, it's not a bad choice given what's coming next month. You know,
it's a terrible choice. We have an opportunity to watch a movie once a month as a group with our viewers, and you're choosing that.
Here's the thing: the commentary would be pretty.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It would create some good commentary leading up to the Snyder Cut. I agree with that.
So I don't know. Hey, if it doesn't get picked, hey, you're not hurting my feelings, okay? So there you go.
Interesting.
Great point. It's a great point, Riggs.
Never any controversy with Gio.
All right, so I was given the joyous station of Netflix.
I like how you say you were given. You're the one that chooses.
Okay, I gave myself the joyous station of Netflix.
Well, it rotates.
It rotates
roughly, right?
Yeah. I gave myself Hulu next month, so relax. So there's obviously a lot to choose from on Netflix, but quite honestly, it changes each month. Stuff's taken off, stuff's put on. There wasn't a lot of stuff that I was like extremely interested in watching for a watch along until I came across this bad boy. I wholeheartedly love this movie. I think it's one of the funnest family action movies that's come out over the past 10 years, and that is the great Rock'em Sock'em Robot adaptation of Real Steel, the Hugh Jackman movie with Evangeline Lilly. It is on Netflix, and I think this would be the perfect watch-along movie. It's got good action, it's got good acting, it's got good family drama, and it's also just a really damn good time. So
I thought that movie sucked.
That movie does not suck. That
what
movie
am I thinking
does not
suck.
Real Steel is a blast of a time. It is awesome. Where's the sequel? Where's the sequel?
Isn't there a robot movie
sequel? Where's the Real Steel sequel?
Isn't there a movie like that that's like people hate?
It's not this one because
and I want to say Hugh Jackman was in it too.
People thought this was gonna suck, and then it like surprised everyone, and it didn't suck.
Realistically, Real Steel is not going to win the poll, but I really love it too.
I mean, I
really love it too.
I remember I saw this in theaters, and I was surprised, how good it was.
So enjoyable.
Like it's so enjoyable. It's one of the. It kind of takes me back to like 90s action films, but like an updated version. You know, like it's just heartfelt and entertaining. So
yeah,
I'd be down for either of these. I mean, Justice League would be.
That's what I'm thinking.
Would be crazy. Okay.
I was thinking
Jackman was in that.
Chappie will never be in this poll.
Chappie.
That's what I was thinking of.
It'll never.
Chappie is terrible.
Yeah, it is so.
Technically, I've only seen one Neil Blomkamp movie. It is Chappie.
Chappie is so bad. All right, so we have about 40 minutes to get through these next couple topics, so we do have to lightning fire through some of it. But let's go ahead and get to the next one, which is obviously a big one. It is a big one here, and that is we have this bad boy. This officially dropped here on Sunday. Boom. The Zack Snyder Justice League trailer has officially arrived. And we're here to talk about it. Obviously, Gio and I did a reaction on Sunday. You can go on the channel, check it out if you have not watched it. We got up bright and early for that one because it dropped about 2 hours early. And so we did a reaction to that one. Gio did extensive coverage on Fandom United, but Brian and Jacob haven't talked about it. I haven't heard their thoughts about it. And so I'm very interested to see how this discussion goes. But we're going to take the next 10, 15 minutes or so to talk about it.
You and I actually have not talked about it.
Yeah.
And you and I usually talk about stuff like when it comes.
Well, it's because we usually do the reactions together.
That's true.
And so I would like Jacob and Brian to start this one off and kind of give their thoughts, and then we can kind of get into some things that we see a little bit. Like I said, we have about 10, 15 minutes, so it doesn't have to be relatively quickly. And then chat, obviously blow up the chat on what your guys' thoughts were. But fellas, why don't you start us off?
It's the same movie.
Wow. I was gonna say the exact opposite. Like,
we've been saying it's 1,000% a completely different movie.
it's a completely different movie. It's gonna have some similarities, obviously, because he started working on it and some of his stuff made it to the movie. But it's gonna be a completely different movie. Like, I was trying to explain it to my brother. Like, it's like if somebody were to give you any movie and just said, here, you can take this movie, take out whatever you want and put whatever you want into it.
And you have 4 hours to do it.
Yeah. And so that's basically what it is. And I mean, I enjoy this trailer. Look, the trailer, honestly, from beginning to end, did not blow me away. Like, I don't think it's a Kong vs. Godzilla trailer. It didn't blow me away.
God,
but
that movie, man.
It did get me more excited for the Snyder Cut. If that's the job of a trailer, to get you more excited for something, this did that. And I'll just jump straight to it. Absolutely 1,000% love the new look for Jared Leto's Joker. And I love the way he's talking. And they're kind of like reimagining the character in a way, taking that version from Suicide Squad, and
I love the reimagination.
This is what he's like now. And the way he talks,
fire,
and looks at Batman and says that, loved it. So great way to end the trailer.
His voice is so good. Isn't that right? Batman.
Yeah.
That was honestly my favorite part of the trailer.
It just sucks that he's only gonna be in it for like a small sliver.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little flashback.
And then we're never gonna see.
What was he doing? Was he like, Gio, is he working with Batman? Is he like,
dude, he's got a SWAT vest on and he's holding a rifle in his hands.
Yeah.
So in the nightmare sequence, Batman goes to him.
I don't want to spoil. I want you to spoil anything.
That's all I said. That's all I was gonna say.
I will say, okay, so here's what I
don't spoil it
from it.
Mr. Insider.
I actually kind of am digging Steppenwolf a little bit more, which is shocking.
I'll bring this up.
So who's standing on Darkseid's left in that one shot?
That is Desaad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
dude,
that's Desaad. And that's
Granny. I can't believe they're having Granny Goodness in this movie. That is awesome.
Are you surprised? He was given 4 hours to make a movie.
But I just I've read some Granny Goodness in the comics, and oh my goodness, that's crazy. And she was in the Harley Quinn animated show too.
You know, I would. This will never happen, but I would love to challenge you guys to 10 seasons of Smallville and see that incarnation of Granny Goodness.
Is she in that?
And be absolutely terrified by that Granny Goodness.
Wow. She's in
Smallville. Dude, Desaad, Apocalypse, or Darkseid.
They have everyone in Smallville.
I know that, but Granny Goodness.
Granny Goodness.
I think they actually call her Granny Goodness.
A very interesting storyline, but she's terrifying.
Do you guys think they're going to actually call her Granny Goodness?
No.
I
don't think so. They might call her Granny, but I don't think they'll call her Granny Goodness.
I think one of Flash will be like, she's like a little granny or something like that.
There's going to be a joke around it for sure.
Yeah. Steppenwolf needs to keep his helmet on though, with his weird naked head. But yeah, no, he looks cool. I loved the amount of action we're gonna seem to have, which I would expect if you're gonna put a 4-hour long movie together about superheroes. Joker was easily the best part, in my opinion.
The money shot of the trailer.
Yeah.
They literally changed our minds on this Joker with one shot.
Honestly,
here's the thing. I liked Suicide Squad Joker. He doesn't make sense.
We never loved it, you know?
He doesn't make sense for something like this, I would say. Like if he was like flashy and stuff like it. So I am kind of bummed because that is it's a different iteration of Joker that I thought would have been cool to see. But at the same time, I dig.
So I will say to what Brian's saying, I think that I think that it gets misinterpreted sometime in the fact that at least I've been saying for a long time that I was never able to get an opinion on him because we never saw enough of him.
Yes,
That's a good point. And we did say that in our reviews back then. I remember that.
What, 90 seconds of Joker maybe in the Suicide Squad movie? And we were never able to see like the full vision of what they were really going for with the gangster Joker. And I had said it from the beginning. I really liked the idea of making him literally a mob boss. We know that he's the prince of crime, the crime prince of Gotham, but what would he be like as an actual crime boss? And that's what I was interested in. We never got to see it, but now they're giving him a completely different look and idea, and I really like it. I love the voice. I love that they put paint on his face so we don't see the tattoos. It's a completely different iteration of the character. I'm super excited to see their involvement in what the Batman and Joker relationship is like between Affleck and Leto, because it's obviously Batman and Joker. It's the highlight of what DC is. You know, there's nothing like Batman and Joker. And so I said this to Gio on Sunday, though, how does this fit into the movie? Does it fit well into the movie, or is it just a piece that's like, here's the Joker? I want it to make sense. I want it to fit right. If it does, I'm going to be excited as all hell. But how does it fit into the movie specifically? Like, why is he there? Because he wasn't originally there. Once they gave him access to make the movie, he put him in there.
Well, there's going to be a ton of that, I think.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how does it work? What like, does it make sense for the overall story? If it makes sense, I'm all in. If it doesn't, I'm going to be the amateur movie critic and be like, well, I didn't really like that because this is this. And people are probably going to come after me for it. But
Gio, I'm saying like there's going to be a lot of stuff in the movie that wasn't in the theatrical cut. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So any director has to make new things they're adding to a film work. So we expect these things to work. We want them to work. But Gio, let me ask you, as far as like fan reception of that Joker in this trailer, is it generally positive? Like, are people liking it? So that's what I meant. Like, generally people are like, don't like the Suicide Squad Joker. And I guarantee you this is like totally changed everyone's perception.
Jacob, you need to scroll through Twitter once in a while, bro.
I do. Yeah, I don't.
It's the fact that
Twitter effing blew up.
That's good. I mean, I want positivity to be around.
Yeah, they blew up about Joker and Steppenwolf for the two things they blew up about the most.
Yeah. Forget the look of Jared Leto's Joker. It's what he said. We live in a society, and it's just everybody's like minds are blown, like all the fanboys and gamers and all that, because that was a really popular meme, especially with the Joker character. But yeah, like I'll give my thoughts quickly because it's no surprise. Absolutely love this trailer. I've seen it a ridiculous amount of times. I love that they're giving us more of Cyborg's character arc in this. We get a little glimpse of his nightmare sequence that Zach had teased about. There is a theory behind this image, but I'm not going to say it because you guys don't want it spoiled. But that it's very cool. I love that we're getting Iris West, her introduction with Barry Allen. That whole shot looks amazing. It looks like the VFX are finished of him saving Iris West. Steppenwolf, again, like, I've already said enough about the 2017 movie. We've all had, okay, this guy looks terrifying. It looks like his character is going to have some weight. The shots of him swinging his axe and killing Amazonians. Wow. Oh my God. It's just, he is terrifying. I love the look of Darkseid. Look, okay, like Zack Snyder, he's putting everything in this movie because he's not expecting to ever make another DC movie after this. He never expected to come back after what happened in 2017. And the fact that he's putting everything, the kitchen sink, into this 4-hour cut. And I love that they're giving us, this was confirmed, that the 4-hour cut will have indentations. So there'll be separate chapters. So let's say you want to stop at chapter 2, and you can revisit it later on. So you don't have to watch the whole 4 hours all together. I absolutely love this trailer. I'm so ready for it. It's been a long fight, 3.5 years. Okay. So if you're like me, you're savoring this trailer. You're savoring the moment because it's for real and it's on the way. And regardless of the outcome, we could at least say that, this movie happened. So, yeah.
I would say that all the crap that has gone through since the second this movie was conceived to now has worked in the favor of people wanting to see this Justice League movie, because there's no way you can fight me till you're blue in the face, but you're not going to be right. There is no way that you would have ever gotten a 4-hour theatrical released movie.
No,
there's no way.
No chance.
So you are basically getting an extra hour of stuff to make this film perfect, essentially. So in a way, like that kind of makes me a little bit more excited, because you're getting like a full story. Like there is zero reason why anyone should ever be like, yeah, we couldn't put that in because of time or something. Like it's literally a 4-hour movie. And I mean, you see a bunch of stuff like when Endgame came out, like they were like, oh, we loved this, but we didn't have time to do it. Like you're getting the full gambit with this movie. So I'm kind of excited to see, because that and I'm not saying that people are making the excuse, but like that reasoning is off the table. Like you literally got like whatever you wanted to do. So I'm hoping we get that. The best part of the whole entire, in my opinion, Justice League movie that we got was the flashback scene.
Yep.
Give me 15, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of that. I will lose my mind. Give me a whole movie on that, and I would lose my mind, because that was the best part of that whole entire movie. And I can only imagine, like, I mean, there's a little quick shot of it. I guarantee you there's going to be more than just a story in this next one. So, like, that I cannot wait for.
Oh, Brian, all right, so we're definitely getting a lot more flashback. Just the fact that the last trailer opened with Euxis, Darkseid, but Euxis as a very, very young, alien. But yeah, we're gonna get the real stuff in this. And look, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but imagine if this turns out to be great. How pissed off will comic book movie fans be that this version wasn't the one released in 2017?
I wouldn't say so much pissed off, because it's going to turn out better for you, because you're going to get the literal full iteration with no limits to it. It almost kind of makes it worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a better situation.
They never would have been a different, even if Zack Snyder's full Justice League came out in 2017, it would have been different than what we're getting with the Snyder Cut.
And you're getting an extra hour.
Yeah, so, and I will say, and like, look,
for us,
the road was very bumpy, but
Absolutely.
The end result is going to be a lot better, because Snyder, like these guys have said, there's no limitations. It's R-rated. He has the length to do whatever the hell he wants, as long as he puts the chapters into it. Right, it's going to be 4 hours long, and it's going to release on a service that everyone is going to see if they want to purchase the service. Right? Some people might boycott the movie if it goes to the theater, or maybe people can't afford to go to the theater, or maybe they're busy with work. Now someone can sit at home and be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is his full vision for what he thought of the movie. And like they said, the 2017 version, if it was his movie, wouldn't be this same movie. And here's the thing. What would have happened if that movie had flopped? Just hypothetically, if that movie had flopped and he had plans for a sequel, we would have never seen his full vision, because he might not have done the sequel.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing
this thing could have been chopped into two.
And
Yes.
now we're seeing
But
Justice League 1 and 2 together into one movie for 4 hours. It's his entire. Just think about it, guys. We're gonna see the story of Steppenwolf trying to attack the Justice League and whether it's succeeding or failing. And then after that happens, we're gonna see the story of Darkseid coming down to face the Justice League. Typically, it's only one bad guy, right? We're seeing the minions go and then the main guy go in one movie, which is, that's the only time it's ever happened. So,
well,
We think.
No,
stop saying something, Gio. Stop saying
I
something.
can't.
We can move on.
Say something.
All right. Well, I mean, I think I'm gauging that this all improved, like raised our excitement. I mean, Gio's already maxed out, but
Honestly,
for us three,
I'm starting to get on board with doing a watch along on the channel where we just sit there and watch it without saying anything, and just hang out and watch. Like I'm kind of on board with doing it now.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, as our first viewing,
As a first viewing, I'm down to do it March 18th when it's a Thursday. We pop it on, and we just see what happens.
We all take work
Sit
off.
this close to the TV.
We just see what happens.
we will discuss that further. All right, Gio, you want to tell them about our Marvel review show?
Yes. So you guys may already know, but Marvel is absolutely killing it right now on the streaming service with WandaVision. I mean, these episodes keep getting better and better and better. Well, if you're a fan of that show and you want to add to the experience, come join our weekly conversation on Marvel Rewind. That's right. Every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, join Jacob, Brian, Jake, and myself as we dive deep into WandaVision and not only review, but also speculate. There's a lot of stuff going on in WandaVision. I mean, every episode, every week, we think something's happening, but then it's something else happening, or it's this person, but it's that person. It's literally the perfect show for, as far as, I don't know what the word is, but weekly.
Wait, Gio, it's the perfect show?
No, I'm talking about as far as weekly.
Perfect weekly discussion show,
Weekly
water cooler
discussion.
show.
Gio just put
Yes.
perfect and MCU in the same sentence, guys.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm an MCU fan, even though Jake forced
until
me to use the
Peacemaker
plug
comes
with
out.
a DC shirt on. But you know what? Hey, I give credit where credit's due. WandaVision's killing it right now. And come check us out on Fridays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Marvel Rewind.
And guys, Samir put this on Twitter the other day, and I died laughing. But they announced that the next 3 episodes are going to be an hour long, which might mean 50 minutes with the 10 minutes credits, whatever. But an hour long. And Samir goes, so 3-hour Marvel Rewind episodes? I'm like,
yeah. Hey, you notice the credits are so long? It'll be like 37 minutes, and it ends. I'm like, what happened? Wait, there was like 7 minutes.
It's 8 minutes of credits every single time for sure.
Yes, absolutely. That was a great plug, Gio. Thank you very much for that. Does anybody else have people in their household getting annoyed with them for rewatching episodes of WandaVision like 3 times? I'm like, I'm gonna watch this.
Lives with other people.
I'm gonna watch this again. Sorry, I'm watching this.
Dude,
again.
I've watched last week's episodes 4 times already.
I'm watching them like 3 times.
I'm
every week now.
And you see, that's the brilliance of Marvel. Even though I'm annoyed by it, they know that you have to watch this.
Gio, don't even threat, because I cannot tell you how excited I haven't even seen the Suicide Squad yet, but for the Peacemaker show.
And then we're gonna be all over Green Lantern too. Like we're gonna be.
Yeah, we just had to come up with a name for the DC show. That's all.
I already thought of one. I'll let
fast
you know.
forward.
Stop. Oh yeah, DC fast forward. We're gonna fast forward the discussion. We're gonna open. Hey guys, bye.
I already thought of a couple.
Jacob, you got jokes.
I had to come on.
Jacob, by the way, you better follow that Mortal Kombat Twitter, whatever you want to call it, because they've been dropping the character posters, and they just dropped another one.
Yeah.
Oh, a certain one? Yeah.
For Kane,
I will go follow that.
Kano and Sub-Zero are out now.
Nice. All right. Well, we have one more news story to wrap it up.
We do. We got 20 minutes left in the show. We're going to cover this one pretty quickly here. Let's talk about The Last of Us, guys. Let me just pull this up. Let's talk about the epic massive title PlayStation game that is The Last of Us. There are 2 incarnations of this game so far, number 1 and number 2, and it is officially a go at HBO. This series has been in the motion for quite some time, over years, since the first game had come out, which was a very long time ago. And HBO is officially getting it going. And so let's see, Craig Mazin, if I'm saying his name right, and Neil Druckmann are the names developing the series. Mazin is actually the one that was behind HBO's Chernobyl series, which is a big deal because Chernobyl was award-winning. It was a very dramatic series. It was very hard to watch at times, but it was incredibly good. And so he is bringing the Last of Us series to life, which is very cool. But the big news here, is that HBO, reported by Deadline, officially tapped the Mandalorian himself, Pedro Pascal, to play Joel in The Last of Us. Not only that, but he is going to be joined by his Game of Thrones co-star, Bella Ramsey, to play Ellie, which is very cool. And so we're getting a Game of Thrones reunion on HBO. Even though they were never in scenes together, they were in the same show.
Yeah.
And they both played very, very popular characters for fans. They were both only seen at times. They were never like full-on leads, but their characters are extremely popular with fans. And that's kind of where they got their start. And a big deal with this as well in the report said that from Deadline again is that Pascal's deal is quote unquote first position, which means that it takes precedence over any other series he's involved in, which is obviously a big deal because he is the Mandalorian. So that's going to be an interesting discussion when that does happen. But it could not mean anything because we don't know when Mando Season 3 is exactly coming. But let's talk about this, guys. We officially have Joel and Ellie. I personally have never played the games. I know the story. I've heard how absolutely amazing they are. And I'm super excited because I love zombie stuff. I love dystopian stuff, mad future world type of stuff. And just seeing more of Pedro Pascal on a TV series by HBO, I'm a go.
Brian, have you played the game?
I played the first one, and I watched Alex Damon play the second one. Or wait, was it Alex? Someone
heard the stories are incredible. In
Ben Goddard, games. Probably.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think it might.
I've never played them though.
I've heard the story. Like people, when they describe the story to me, they tell me it's literally like watching a movie playing a video game.
It is. It 100% is. I'm gonna be honest. I'm more excited about Bella Ramsey than I am Pedro Pascal. When I like jumped up and down, was like, hell yes! Like when she got cast because she's I think she might be my favorite character in Game of Thrones.
She's such a scene stealer in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Fine.
And she's gonna be.
She played Lyanna Mormont. For those who don't know, she was essentially a queen at her age for her family, and she was involved with the Starks, which is a big deal.
Oh, those meetings, she would clap back like no child in that show. She was
like the most logical one. Like
she's a bomb
every time.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because she's going to probably like blow up as an actress now because of this. Give me her in tons of movies and stuff after this. You don't even need to talk about Pedro Pascal because you already know he's going to be great. He's fantastic in every single thing he does. Like he doesn't make stinkers. And you know that this is just, people are going to like
this is HBO's new Game of Thrones. This is what they're going for.
Oh, absolutely.
This is their replacement for at the time being, because there is a Game of Thrones prequel coming out. House of the Dragon is coming, which is going to be huge. And I'm losing my mind over seeing that. But at the time right now, this is 100% the replacement.
They need something where everybody's talking about it, where weekly everybody's like, oh my goodness, like a WandaVision.
Well, you know? and to keep up with what Netflix and Disney Plus are doing, you need more than one a year thing. Like Game of Thrones was once a year. And that's
a
all that
great
everyone
point.
talks about, right? Now you can do Game of Thrones in the spring, The
Mhm.
Last of Us in the fall, or vice versa. And you have people
Yeah.
talking about your shows all year long.
That's a great point,
Jake.
because we had
You
Mandalorian
have
and
to
then
do Game of
WandaVision.
You have to do Game of Thrones in the winter and Last of Us in
But the
summer.
House of the Dragon is not the winter, bruh.
Okay, well then it needs to be summer and the other one's winter. God, this show's gonna. The game's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
I've wanted to play it for so long.
I almost kind of wish I didn't play it now
I'm just gonna watch
I'm not
the
going to play it before the
cutscenes.
series. That's for sure. I'm definitely not. Playing
because I'm curious to see how far they stick to it. I imagine that they're going to stray because it's a video game. So, but
they'll stray to make it multiple seasons.
100%.
I think that's the only way that they'll probably stray.
You'll probably get max.
It's not going to be like a Lion King exact adaptation, obviously.
No. I'm going to say you'll probably get max 6 seasons out of this show, probably.
Really?
6
seasons? I was thinking
it depends how successful it is. But
I was thinking we only see 3 or 4 seasons.
That's why I said
hours of gameplay, our cutscenes.
Yeah, Jake, these games are 20 hours.
And I know that creators can come up with different stuff, but sometimes you don't want to oversaturate to ruin it. You know?
That's why I said max. You could probably take 2 seasons, max 3 to get to game 2. So,
wow.
And it also depends on how many episodes they're putting in a season.
Well, if it's HBO, it's going to be anywhere from 8 to 12, and I'm hoping it's the 8. I really like number 8.
I think they'll shoot on the lower side of this.
And HBO are hour episodes. They're not they're full on 45 to an hour episodes too. So
I would imagine they shoot low when it comes to amount of episodes. Plus, it's going to be expensive to make this show. So, they're not going to care because they're going to make a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
but
doesn't care.
But at the same time, this show is going to cost a lot because dystopian stuff is not cheap. You gotta really.
When was the last time we had a legit dystopian style thing that's happening? And I know this is a bad comparison because I never played it, but I'm hoping for a full on I Am Legend type of series. That's what I want.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh,
really? Wow.
I don't want to watch the dog die.
Just fast forward through it. It's such
spoiler alert.
It's such a good movie. I'm really hoping that this is a massive hit because you obviously have Pedro Pascal, you have Bella Ramsey, you have a creator who created an incredible show in Chernobyl. I'm more interested. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this about this whole first position thing, and what this could possibly mean for his involvement in Mando. We obviously know that in the past couple seasons he wasn't always in the suit. They have stunt guys that take over for him in roles, and there's times where he's just doing the voice while a fight's happening, or he is in the suit when a conversation is happening. And he was involved a lot more in season 2. But I read the article, and they had said that recently he had made himself available for more series, and apparently he was getting a ton of calls from streaming services about shows. And out of all the stuff that he was offered, he chose The Last of Us.
Well, he's a genius for
so he picked The Last of Us out of everything that he was given, and we don't know what he was given. But what do you guys think about the possibility that this could kind of pull away his involvement from Mando as far as when the action happens? He'll obviously be the voice, but he won't be in the suit as much anymore.
See, now I think I don't think his schedule it's gonna really be that fine because there's so much stuff coming in Star Wars that I feel like Mando's gonna start being spread out a little bit. You're gonna have Book of Boba, so you're looking at least a year.
Well, yeah, they said that Mando season 3 is not filming until this time next year.
Exactly. So you're looking at a year, maybe 2. That's a lot of time to do another show, and then who knows how long the next one's gonna be. How long the gap is going to be because you're going to have 3 other shows tying into just Mando. So I think it's going to be fine. His schedule Like, I'm honestly not worried about it.
This dude's going to be involved in The Last of Us, The Mandalorian, on top of being the bad guy in Wonder Woman 2 and being a popular character in something like Game of Thrones. What the hell?
Yeah.
He's like the #1 actor right now.
Yeah, he's the dude.
I don't think we have to worry about his involvement in Mandalorian at all. The actors shoot multiple things per year. Series are shorter now. They're not like Arrow, like where it's 22 episodes and they have to be fully committed for several, like multiple months. So
can you imagine a 22 episode Mandalorian?
Yeah, like that's crazy, right? So I think it's totally fine, especially
it'd be so dead.
It's mostly voice work on Mandalorian for him.
Yeah.
So
well, it just it was interesting because we expected the next season to have him have his helmet off a lot more. Maybe that's not the case.
I'm wondering, we've heard reports that like there's been on-set feuds with him. Do you think that he is like kind of like edging his way out?
No,
not even close.
No. He would never give up what is the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
an absolute idiot to give up what is the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I agree. I was just curious on your guys' thoughts on that. But Gio, are you excited for the game or the movie?
Yeah, I haven't played the game, but I know that it's been kind of in development hell for a while. So the fact that they have cast and a showrunner, they're making like real development and improve progress on this. I'm not worried about his schedule. You know, if James Gunn can fit in a Peacemaker show in between Guardians and Suicide Squad, you know, he could definitely do this. And obviously one of you pointed out that he does voice work mostly, although I'm pretty sure at the end of season 2 it felt like he was kind of steering away from his like oath and this and that. I mean, for one, he was seeing Mandalorians with their helmets off like nothing, and 2, he finally broke that oath with Baby Yoda. You know,
Grogu.
So we all know how he looks like. All the main characters know what he looks like now, so it's not that.
I still think he's going to keep his helmet on for most.
So do I.
Just because
like meetings and stuff, he'll probably take it off, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would still say like 80% of the show he's
until he fully adapts what Bo-Katan's style of being a Mando is. It'll be like a total learning curve for him.
Yeah, you don't just like give up doing what your cult has been making you do for the last God knows how long. Like that takes time. So
I did want to make a point because I didn't know this, but when I read the article about the whole first position thing, they gave the example of Chris Pratt when he was on Parks and Rec. His contract signed for a first position, but then he booked the role of Star-Lord in Guardians. And so what could have happened is that the showrunner of the show could have been like, no, sorry, like we need you here for this show. But they worked around his schedule because they knew how big of an opportunity it was. And the TV show shot around his work on Guardians. And I'm sure his role kind of
in the show, he goes to live in England for work. Like they go to England and he meets some guy and he starts working for him. He's like, I'm just going to stay here, guys.
So there's your, so during his time in England, he was actually playing Star-Lord.
Hey, you know, it's funny. They come back and they ask him,
did he lose a bunch of weight?
They were like,
super fit.
Adam Scott asked him, how'd you lose so much weight? He's like, I just stopped drinking beer. It's so funny.
So, but that's a good example of you know, the showrunner for Last of Us, Jon Favreau. They're probably going to work the schedules of shooting to fit around his schedule. If they do come together at the same time, more than likely they won't. Maybe like an episode or two, or maybe some kind of reshoots or something. But that's just an example of how that could happen.
That's a good point, and you're right. They could just work with him, you know, unless they want to be a-holes about it. I'm
sure Jon Favreau's like, yeah, dude, I played that game. Go book that.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to be douches.
Favreau, if he really needed,
or Filoni's like, yeah, I played that game.
Yeah. If they needed him, they would have pushed back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm not a huge gamer, but them being cast definitely excites me.
Yeah,
like,
I'm definitely not playing the games until the series is over now.
The monsters are so scary too.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's so good.
So they're dead bodies, but
What?
no, it's fine. They're not. It's not zombies. It's parasites. Like
Yeah, I've just heard the word monster. Like they're monsters.
yeah,
So they're not traditional zombies.
No, they're like plant. They're like fungus.
Wow.
This image gets me super psyched though. This gets me super psyched. Like, look at the body in the car. What is that? What is that?
Yeah,
And we're gonna see her with weapons, with
She's gonna have a big old sniper
rifle,
and it's freaking Liana. What's her name?
Yeah,
oh,
that's awesome. I'm glad that's not the last we see.
Liana
see of
Mormont.
her.
There you go. I forgot her name.
Any last thoughts, guys?
Just bring it on. I hope it's sooner rather than later. I hope that it doesn't like, oh, we got our cast members now. We can take our time. Like, get this thing going.
I think it'll be early next year.
Like released.
I'd say because Peacemaker is coming out January 2020.
I would say because of COVID, next fall.
That's fair.
I don't know what the COVID guidelines are.
Yeah. Did they say anything about production or anything?
No, but and the interesting thing is they didn't say anything on whether or not it's going to be HBO Max or HBO, which is interesting. We don't know how that's going to work. Like if it's released on HBO, if it goes straight to HBO Max, because usually it would go to HBO Go, but so it hasn't been announced on what it's going to be like. I would imagine that it's going to be HBO Max.
No,
I don't know.
I think everything is becoming HBO Max.
It's 100% gonna
like
be
you
HBO.
you can still have cable HBO if you have cable, but I think it's all one and the same. Like if Game of Thrones was airing, it would be airing on HBO Max as well.
Yeah,
like,
That's going to be very interesting
at 6 p.m.
because a lot of people have HBO through their cable provider, and a lot of those people don't. They're not in tune. They're going to have to figure out that they have to get HBO Max to watch these shows.
Yeah, and I think they get it for free if they already have cable. I think
if you already own
HBO
through your cable,
yes,
you get HBO Max.
Because what would be the point of like paying separate?
Exactly,
like, paying for it twice.
Exactly,
makes no sense. All right, well that'll wrap it up for that discussion. I did see Star Drew ask a couple times.
Yeah, can we answer that real quick?
Star Drew, I see your video game question. Top 3 or 4 video games of all time. I'll say for me, it's definitely the first Mortal Kombat is my favorite. And the next 2 after that would be, honestly, look, most of them aren't great, but I like Warcraft and I like the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider. So those would be my top 3: Mortal Kombat, Warcraft, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I'm mostly the same with you. I got the 95 Mortal Kombat, Warcraft, Sonic the Hedgehog last year. Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
That was a big surprise for me. And this one's terrible, but anytime it's on TV, I will watch it. It's Doom, starring Carl Urban and The Rock.
It's so bad.
Is Detective Pikachu a video game movie? I guess it is, right?
Yeah.
I like that one too. And
all right, Jacob, say all the movies.
No, I'm gonna say Mortal Kombat Annihilation is one of the worst films ever made.
Yeah,
That's all I'll say.
Brian, you want to go next? Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of anything other than Detective Pikachu.
Okay, so I have a couple off the top of my head. The Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider
And that one.
boss. Absolutely cannot wait for that sequel. So pumped that sequel's coming. Give it to me now. And Need for Speed. The recent Need for Speed. Absolutely love it. If you've never seen the Need for Speed movie, here's how I can hook you. There is not a single CGI shot in that movie.
That's right. It was all,
and it has to do with car racing, guys. It is an entire practical effect movie. And I don't have his name off the top of my head, but it's Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. Aaron Paul is the lead. Rami Malek is in there as a supporting character. Dominic Cooper plays the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Johnson's in there. It's
Michael Keaton.
Awesome. Michael Keaton's in there. You're right.
I love that you guys haven't said what, at least Jake, the one that you always go, oh my God, they're so good. Even though this get panned.
We'll say it.
You can't think of it?
I'm looking at a list and I don't think it's on the list.
Isn't Resident Evil?
Oh yeah, Resident Resident Evil movies are cool, but they're very bad.
Oh wait, I was thinking of Underworld. Never mind.
Oh,
Underworld's not a video game.
Jake
Underworld.
loves Underworld, but
Yeah.
not necessarily
Sorry,
Resident Evil.
Underworld is like the greatest thing ever.
Hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter with Raul Julia. Raul Julia makes that movie, but it's funny seeing a coked out Jean-Claude Van Damme in that movie.
Here's a good one. Probably the best adaptation of video game, The Witcher on Netflix, guys.
I wasn't huge.
What?
It was okay.
Fair enough.
As far as series go, well, yeah, honestly, like premium streaming shows are like just equivalent now, like to me, basically. And I'm talking Mandalorian, WandaVision, whenever Green Lantern comes out, Last of Us, Game of Thrones, those type of premiere streaming. Like we could talk all of it, but I think we're gonna get more video game adaptations, so we will keep an eye out for that.
Ooh,
Thank you for that, Star
The
Drew.
Rock's Rampage.
Oh yeah, I mean I never saw it, but
Yeah,
that's a
neither did
video game movie.
Give me a Halo movie.
The series.
No,
is
that
coming,
needs to
dude.
be series.
The series is coming.
Either
No,
one.
I want Peter Jackson's Halo movie that he was almost going to do.
We good.
All right. Well, thanks for the question, Star Drew. That was definitely fun to close out the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching Apocaflix Now. We really appreciate it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not. I'm guessing most people watching are, but if you're new here, please subscribe. We would really appreciate it. Leave a comment on any topics that we talked about. Hit up the Streamlabs if you want us to definitely get to your question. And please don't forget, like Gio said, don't forget to check out Marvel Rewind this Friday at 4 p.m. We'll be talking WandaVision episode 7. Hopefully the episode of WandaVision is longer than normal. We're assuming 50 minutes or so. And yeah, don't forget to check out our audio podcast on any audio platform that you listen to. You can find those descriptions in the comment section. And before we go, we're going to have everybody say goodbye. Gio, why don't you let people know where they can find you online outside of Apocaflix?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Grey Goose Jedi, Grey Goose like the alcohol. I will be having that, by the way, when Zack Snyder's Justice League releases. And you can also find me on the Fandom United podcast. Just talked a whole lot of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And yeah, I really appreciate it if you guys check that out.
And Jake Berlin.
Twitter, Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake, because someone else took it before I did with 2 N's. I said that backwards that time. I don't know why. Obviously here every week, Apocaflix Now, Marvel Rewind, Casting Table. We got a lot of cool things coming. So stay tuned here. Subscribe if you have not already. Follow the Apocaflix Movies Twitter handle, which is right up there. And let us know what you want us to talk about. And so we'd love to hear that. And then obviously over at A Certain Point of View, which is where some of you know me from, and then the Whiskey Jedi as well. I do a show, the Whiskey Jedi, about Star Wars and whiskey, and it's a fun time. I drink whiskey and I talk Star Wars, and what can be better than that? So,
Brian Avalosino, I want to hear about all your side podcasts. Okay?
Yeah. Certain Point of View. Apparently, I'm not there, but you can find me there. And B of Alcino on Twitter.
Well, I'm waiting for that solo side podcast, Brian. Come on. You can do it. You
My
can do it.
Tequila Sith. It's coming
yeah.
whenever.
Whenever. Hey,
Yeah.
that's the slogan. Coming whenever.
Yep.
All right. And you can find me, Jacob Bartley, on Twitter at Jacob Bartley824. You can also check out my Power Rangers podcast, Off the Grid, a Power Rangers podcast. Some really cool stuff going on in the comics that I've been reviewing lately. A lot of fun. And of course, you can find us all here at Apocaflix Movies. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on Friday.